markets which have been classified on the basis of location, on the basis of geographical area. The secular market is well organized and a well equipped market where you can find everything in place. See, cash market is also called as a spot market. So markets have been classified on the basis of the government intervention and regulations. Hello and welcome to one and all. Hi, George William A., Commerce Faculty, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Mysore. Dear student, today I am going to welcome you all to my class for the session 3 of Introduction to Marketing, that is of Unit 1. Under this, we are going to study about the classification of markets. In the last class, I was explaining to you, dear students, about the classifications of markets, and I had explained the first 3 points, that is the markets which have been classified on the basis of location, on the basis of geographical area, as well as on the basis of commodities sold. In today's session, we shall see the remaining aspects of this topic. Now we can see the fourth one is the markets have been classified on the basis of the time span. It says the markets have been classified on the basis of time span, means that is on the basis of period. Here we can see there are 3 important types of markets on the basis of time span, that is on the period. First one is the short market, then second we have the long period market, and third one is the secular market. Now coming to the first one, it says short period market. What do you mean by a short period market? A short period market is nothing but a market where it is only for the few hours in a day. The market will be there only for a few hours in a day. So you can see the market is there for a shorter period of time. Now, what are the goods or the commodities which have been traded? They have been supplied at a fixed rate. Means the commodities, that is the supply of commodities, is in a fixed manner. And who are the traders here? The traders, you can see, that is the merchants and the traders, that is the producers and the traders will be the part of this particular short period market. And if you see the price of the commodities which are sold in this particular market, they are according to the demand of the commodity. If there is a demand for that particular product only, then the price will be shooting up. If not, the price will be in a stable condition. And coming to the supply of the commodities under this short period market is zero elastic. That means there is no demand. Only when there is a demand, the supply will be there. According to demand, they are going to supply the products. So the examples for this particular short period market, we can see it is the fish market, vegetable market, or the flower market. So this is about the short period market. Now coming to the next type of market, and that is the markets under which has been classified under the time span. We can see the second one is the long period market. The name itself says long. Long means the duration will be larger. It will be more compared to short period market. There I told you in short period market, the market will be existing only for a day or within a day or within that stipulated time period. But here it is a long period market where the duration or the period will be for a longer period of time. Now under this particular long period market, students, we can find the durable commodities. These are the durable commodities which will be dealt or which will be transacted, where the goods have been bought and sold under this particular long period market. So the durable products or the commodities will be brought and sold under this particular market. Now the price of the products, it has been governed according to the supply and demand. That means because it is a long period market and the goods have been dealt, or the transaction of the goods and commodities are in a larger scale, a little bit larger, as well as it is for a longer period of time, and the price of that particular product depends upon the demand and supply of that particular product. So here there may be a variation or changes in the price of that particular goods and commodities which are dealt under. Right? Now, which are the kind of goods dealt under this particular long period market? We can see the food grain market and the oil seed market. Food grains are very much important, essential for the daily aspect or the daily day-to-day living. And oil seeds, this is also an important essential item and the durable item which is very much important on part of the daily routine. There are so many other durable goods which have been dealt under this particular market, under long period market. Now coming to the next type, that is secular market. Secular market means where it is a permanent market. Secular market is a permanent market. Now under this particular market, the goods which have been manufactured, and the machinery goods will be bought and sold. So the machinery goods as well as the manufactured goods are the goods which will be dealt under this particular market known as the secular market. And you can see here the godowns as well as the processing of these commodities or the goods can take place. For example, the manufacturer wants to store the goods in the godowns because there may be no demand for that particular product. In that case, until unless he gets a demand for that particular products, he needs to store the goods in the godowns or in the warehouses. For that, he needs a godowns, and that godowns facilities will be available in the secular market. Likewise, the goods which are not being processed, if it has to undergo through the various process, then even for that, the facility is available under the secular market. And also it is a well organized and well equipped market. The secular market is well organized and a well equipped market where you can find everything in place, intact. And the examples, right? And also it says it deals with the import and export of commodities also. So these are the various aspects regarding this secular markets. Now students, as we understood the markets which has been based on according to the time span, here we can see the markets have been classified on the volume of business. Volume means the size of the business, whether it is doing the transaction in a bigger manner or in a smaller manner, right? So under this we have two types of markets. One is the wholesale market and second one is the retail market. Now what is a wholesale market? A wholesale market is nothing but it is a market where you can find the goods have been purchased in a larger quantities and it is being sold in a larger quantities only to the traders. So here the goods have been bought in a larger quantities and also it will be sold in a larger quantities. Now for example, if you want some wholesale things to be bought, then you can go to the wholesale shops. It may be in Santapet or it may be in Shivarampet, right? Like this, you can go to that particular shops where the goods have been bought in a larger quantity and they are dealing and selling it in a larger quantities only. So here you cannot go and ask for one single product or one single commodity. You need to purchase in larger quantities only. It may be in bulk. That is why it says purchasing of goods in bulk as well as selling of goods also in a bulk. So that is about the wholesale market. And who are the traders for this particular market? The producers and the traders, that is the manufacturers and the traders, because the manufacturers, they will be manufacturing the goods and the traders will be purchasing them from the manufacturers in a larger quantity in a bulk, and again they will be selling them in a larger quantity to the other traders or to the retailers, right? And coming to the retail trade, in retail trade it says the retailers, they will be selling the commodities or the goods. They will be selling the goods and commodities in a smaller quantities to the consumers or ultimate consumers or the customers, right? Now for example, in the morning you want to take a bath. Suddenly when you enter the washroom, then you don't find the soap there. Then suddenly you rush to the shop, to the nearby to your houses or to your place, and you go and get one soap. So it is easy to get one soap in a retail shop, but you cannot get one single that particular product soap, one single soap in a wholesale market or in wholesale shops. So thereby it says the retail markets are there where the retailers will be selling the commodities or the goods in a smaller quantities as per the requirements of the consumers or the customers. And who are the dealers in this particular market? The producers, that is the manufacturers, then we have the wholesale agents, then wholesalers, the retailers, and the ultimate consumers. So these are the people who are involved in this particular retail market for transactions. Now students, coming to the next type of market, that is the markets which is based on or classified according to the nature of transaction, nature of transactions. That is, we have cash market and forward market. What is a cash market? See, cash market is also called as a spot market. Why it is called as a spot market? Because you are going to purchase the goods by giving cash. By giving cash. So it is the market where you are going to do the transaction, that is the buying and selling activities takes place by giving cash. So it is a cash transaction takes place in buying and selling of this particular goods and commodities. But whereas forward market, it is a market, it says, where the future purchases and future sellings takes place. So under this particular market, you are going to purchase and do the selling part for the future purpose on the basis of future, but in the current time. So this process is also called as hedging. Now students, coming to the next type of market, we have, that is on the basis of competition. On the basis of competition, we can see we have perfect competition and imperfect competition. The name itself says perfect means what? Perfect means it is accurate, it is scientific, it is clear, perfect, right? So it is, everything is proper. So imperfect means it is not scientific, it is not clear, it is not accurate. So there is no accuracy, nothing. So we'll take up the perfect competition market. Under perfect competition market, it is said, why it is called as a perfect competition market? Because there are many sellers. We can see there are many sellers as well as the buyers who are doing the transactions in a homogeneous product. What is this homogeneous product? So homogeneous products are those goods which is having of similar kind and similar in nature. For example, it may be the cement. So homogeneous means it is having the similar kind, which is having of similar kind and similar in nature. So cement, then we can say steel, so these are the three important aspects in regard to homogeneous products. First one is the cement, second is the steel, and third is the chemicals. Now these are the products which have been dealt under this particular perfect competition market. And you can find lot of sellers will be doing the transaction under this particular market, that is under perfect competition market. And you can see the homogeneous products are being sold under this particular market. And here you can find the prices of that particular market. The prices of that particular commodities is not being controlled. It is not been controlled by the sellers. So sellers does not have any kind of control over the price. And finally, we can see there is a farming commodities. So farming commodities are the goods which will be dealt under this particular market. Now there are some characteristic features of this perfect competition market. Students, it says large number of buyers and sellers will be there under this perfect competition market. You can find many number of people, that is the buyers and the sellers will be there in this particular market known as the perfect competition market. Secondly, the homogeneous products, that is the homogeneous products are being sold into this particular product. I told you what is homogeneous. It is the products which is having the similar in kind and similar in nature. Everything will be in uniform. That kind of products will be sold under this particular product. And I told you the example of homogeneous products are, it is steel, cement and chemical items. Now, the free entry and exit for the firm. So here, the marketers, those who want to enter can easily enter, and if they don't wish to continue there, then he easily can exit. So free entry and free exit is there in this particular perfect competition market. And prices, it says it should be uniform throughout the market. So there is no variation in the prices. So one person is selling in a higher rate, the other person selling in a lower rate. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. So the prices should be in uniform in nature, and no government regulation. Here you don't find any kind of regulations or the rules which is being administered by or governed by the government. And lastly, it says the goods can be moved from one place to another place without any kind of restriction. There is no restriction on part of the movement of goods from one place to another place. Right? So this is about the characteristic features of the perfect competition market. Now coming to the next, that is the opposite of it, imperfect competition market. The imperfect competition market, it says it is the market itself is imperfect, right? It is not perfect when the products are similar but not identical. Here the products are similar. The products will be the same, but it is not identical. It is not identical in nature. Easily you cannot identify, even though the products are the same, even you can see the products are the same, but you cannot identify whether it is that product or this competitor's product. Then prices are not uniform. Here prices will not be uniform. It can be, there may be a variation in the price. That is, one person will be selling at a higher cost and other person will be selling at a lower cost. So there is no uniformity on part of the prices. And thirdly, it says lack of communication between the buyers and the sellers. There is lack of communication. There is no proper communication between the buyers and the sellers, and there is lot of restriction on the movement of the goods and commodities to be sold, or it can be to be transported from one place to another place. So lot of restrictions on part of the movement of goods or commodities from one place to another place. Now students, under this imperfect competition market, we can see there are so many markets where the sellers will be and buyers will be involved. First is the imperfect competition market. Under that, monopolistic. What is monopolistic? Monopolistic means you can find many sellers. There will not be only one seller. There will be many sellers under this monopolistic trading. Secondly, pure oligopoly. Pure oligopoly, under this particular market, we can see only the few sellers will be doing the transactions in the market. Only the few sellers. It is not maximum, only the few sellers, a handful of sellers will be selling the products. Third is differentiated oligopoly. Under this particular market, we can find only the few sellers. Again, only the few sellers will be selling the products or the commodities. Next is monopoly. What is monopoly? Monopoly, where only one seller existing in the market for that particular product. One seller existing in the market for that particular product. So no one else will be selling that particular product. Only the one seller will be there. Then monopsony. Monopsony is where one buyer but many sellers. There will be only one buyer for that particular product, but many sellers will be there. For example, I just want one product. So I want that particular product only. So I only need that particular product. So in that case, I purchase that particular product, but that product will be sold by many sellers. Next is oligosony. Oligosony means few buyers. You can find only few buyers. Not everyone is going to purchase that particular goods or the commodities. Only few will be there who is going to purchase it or who is going to take it from the sellers. The last one is bilateral monopoly. Bilateral means where single sellers faces single buyers. So single seller will be there and you will be having only single buyer. Now students, let us go to the next topic, that is the markets which have been classified on the basis of the government interventions and regulations. That means where the government is coming into action inside, that is on the markets. So markets have been classified on the basis of the government intervention and regulations. So under this we can find there are two types of markets. One is the regulated market and the unregulated market. What is a regulated market? Regulated market is a market where everything will be in a proper way, everything will be in an organized manner, where the government is going to intervene, where the government is having the hands on or the control over that particular market. So that is why we say it is a regulated market, whereas unregulated, it is not organized. The government does not have any kind of control over that particular market. Now for example, we have RMC here, regulated market in Mysore. So that is the example for regulated market. Unregulated market, where you can find different people coming and selling them under different heads. Now this regulated market is a statutory market. We call it as statutory market because the whatever the commodities are being sold or traded, so that will be governed by this particular government, and it makes time to time the regulation acts. So it will be passing regulation acts according to the time period. So time to time they will be passing on the regulation and the rules will be framed. Now under this particular regulated market, the marketing cost, that is the cost of the marketing activities which involves, then the margin of the profit, that is the profit margin, and the fees which has to be paid by the traders who are trading under this regulated market, they are standardized. So they are standardized. So there will be one particular standard will be fixed for the cost which is going to be involved, which is including, that is the cost of marketing, then the margin, profit margin, where the trader has to get the profit, as well as the fees which he has to pay for doing his business or transactions under this particular regulated market. And the price, what about the price? The price prevailing in different markets are displayed through various display boards, or that is through mass medias. So you can find the prices of the commodities which is being traded under this particular regulated market, you can find them on different mass medias which will be expressed or which will be stated. So this is about the regulated market. Now coming to the unregulated market, students, we can see here the business of this unregulated market are being conducted without any kind of supervision. That's what I said. Here there is no control, no supervision. Nobody is going to look into your business, right? So it is without any kind of supervision. The markets will be doing their activities. Then there is absence of rules and regulations. I told you, no government is going to impose any kind of rules and regulations under this particular market. Then the middlemen, they exploit the traders. They will be exploit the traders, that is the producers and the consumers, to the maximum extent. How they can exploit? Because when the government is not intervening, it is the time where the middlemen or the agents, they can come into force, or they can come into existence, and thereby they will be exploiting, cheating the producers as well as the consumers in a larger scale. And how they are going to exploit or cheat the customers? How they are going to exploit or cheat the customers? So the producers, they are put under loss. The producers or the manufacturers, they will be under loss, because the middlemen or the agents, they will be cheating them. So they will be cheating them in different ways, such as by using false weights, by using false measurement, as well as by paying very low amount to the producers. So this is how they will be cheated or exploited by the middlemen or the agents. So students, as we understood, the markets, that is based on the regulation or intervention of the government, that is regulated and unregulated market. Now let us go to the next type of markets, that is on the basis of nature of commodity. Nature of commodity. Now under nature of commodity, we have two types of market. One is the commodity market and second one is the capital market. What is the commodity market? Commodity market is nothing but it is a market where the goods, commodities are being bought and sold. Example, we can say we have cattle market, bullion market, then we have silk market, wool market. All this kind of markets comes under this particular commodity market. Now coming to the capital market. In capital market here we can find where the shares, debentures, bonds will be bought and sold. So here the shares, securities and bonds are being bought and sold under this type of capital market. Example, share market and money market are the best examples for this capital market. Now lastly, coming to the classification of market, that is on the basis of vision and visibility. What is vision? Vision means seeing, looking into, right? So under the basis of vision and visibility, we have two types of market. One is the black market and one is the open market. What is black market and what is open market? Black market is nothing but it is invisible in nature. Invisible. You can ask, sir, how it is invisible, sir? Market means we can see everything. We can see the producers will be there, the commodities will be there, it will be bought and sold, the consumers will be there who will be purchasing the product. Then now you can say there is, it is a black market, which is invisible. Of course, it is invisible because I'll give an example. Coming Friday, there will be a release of a film of your favorite actor or actress. So you are planning to go to the theater and want the ticket. You want to buy the ticket and you want to see you should be the first person to see that particular film. But on that day, when you enter the theater, when you want to purchase the ticket, you can see the board. It is mentioned as it is houseful. When it says houseful, that means you are unhappy. You are not happy. You will be sad. But still, somewhere at the end of the corner, you can find some person will be selling the tickets. They will be selling the tickets in black. That means what? So they are doing the activities which is not visible to others. Which is not visible to others. In such a way, they are going to do the activities or the trading or the business. So black market is nothing but where the goods are not placed in the shops. I told you, you will not get the ticket in the ticket counter, but you will get somewhere else in the corner of that particular theater, somewhere near the compound or outside the theater. So here also the business houses, they will be not keeping the goods or they will be not placing the goods in the shops, but they will be kept in the godowns. The next is the goods which are not seen at the time of purchase. So the goods which are not seen at the time of purchase, it will be only when there is a demand you can buy that particular product or it will be sold. It is not that openly they are going to come and sell, I am selling the goods in a black. No one will say that. So only when there is a demand for that particular product from that particular consumer or customer, then the goods will be sold to them invisibly, and that too especially on cash transaction. And any goods which is of having a short supply and when there is lot of demand for that particular product, then you can find there is a price, that is the price will be high. The price will be high and that kind of product will be sold in the black market. So the commodities or the goods which is having short supply as well as which is having lot of demand and accordingly supply is there, those kind of products will be sold under this particular black market, and you can find the price of that particular products or commodity which is sold under the black market will be very huge amount. So I told you an example, I gave an example about that particular ticket, the film ticket. So if you want to purchase it, when you purchase it at the counter, it may be 200 rupees, but when you purchase in the black, it may be 500 or it may costing 1000 rupees also. So that is about the black market. Now coming to the next type of market, that is on the basis of vision or visibility, that is open market or that is visible. What is open market? Open market is nothing but it is visible in nature. You can find the goods are being sold in the shops openly. There is nothing to hide. There is nothing to hide. So the goods are being transacted between the buyers and sellers openly without any kind of restrictions or without any kind of fear. And here the price is determined by the demand and supply of that particular product. So according to the demand for that particular product and according to the supply, the prices will vary or it will change. So this is all about the classification of markets, where I'd explained to you about the various types, which is based on the time span, that is on the basis of period, then on the basis of nature of transaction, then on the nature of, that is regulated or unregulated, or on the basis of government intervention, right? And on the basis of visible, that is vision or visibility. So this is all about the classifications of market. So dear students, I hope that you have understood the topics which are covered to you today, that is about the classifications of markets. My personal request is, please memorize, just sit alone and after the class and just think or glance what I explained to you in today's class. Why I am saying this? Because it will be more helpful for you at the time of examination, right? So thinking that you understood the topic which I have explained to you today and what are the suggestions I gave you, you have taken, hoping that I'll be leaving the class today until the next session. So see you all in next session. Until then, take care, have a nice day, and thank you students.